Now, there's clear evidence that anti-Semitism is on the rise in Australia. I told you recently about the ABC producer who had to delete his Twitter account after a spate of highly insensitive anti-Israel tweets. At Adelaide University, student paper On D was slammed for publishing anti-Semitic articles. The editorial board member who wrote some of this stuff, Habiba Jagouri, was dumped after she refused to retract her claims. Have a listen to some of what she had to say.
Israel is not a democratic country. Israel is a terrorist occupation. That's what Israel is. Ethnic cleansing, genocide, apartheid, illegal settlements. These are all things Israel proudly commits day to day. That's what their existence is based on. Yes, Israel is a capitalist colonial endeavor. That's what Israel is. And so death to Israel, that's exactly what I mean when I say death to Israel. Death to Israel. Till the day I die, Henry, death to Israel. And I will not apologize, and I will not step down, and you can take your motion, and you and your motion can go to hell.
Let me bring in the Australian Jewish Association President, David Adler. David, that was revolting stuff. At least in that case, the On D editorial board have shifted her off that board. But you must be worried about these sort of sentiments promulgated around our universities.
Look, Chris, firstly, I want to thank you for putting a light on this issue. Very few people do so, and you're one that does call it out, and that really is appreciated. What you just played is well beyond ordinary political criticism. One of the tests is the criticism to Israel similar to the sort of criticism that is being made to any other country? Now, we have no problem with that, with policies being criticised. But this particular person, Habiba Jagouri, goes well beyond that. That crosses into flagrant anti-Semitism. It crosses all definitions. She's essentially advocating the removal of the only place for Jewish sovereign self-determination. And it needs to be called out. And our educational facilities need to recognise it and act more effectively. Now, she was removed by the Student Union Board, but her colleagues on the On D publication have actually doubled down and have reiterated some of those sentiments. The University of Adelaide has a serious problem with anti-Semitism. They've been too slow to act. They haven't done enough. And this is a significant problem across the country, and the example in Adelaide is particularly ugly.
This gets promulgated, I bet, and led, I suppose, by politicians who like to talk about Israel as being an apartheid state. Gee, people throw that a word around these days as if they've forgotten what real apartheid was. But it filters down to younger people as well. We had an incident in Sydney just in the last week where there's been teenagers at one of the most prestigious private schools, Cranbrook, accusing, apparently, teasing other children because of their Jewish background. This stuff is just abhorrent.
You're right. They're invoking Nazism to attack their Jewish colleagues, using Hitler-type salutes, saying that you should have been gassed in the gas chambers.
Just shocking.
Look, it is shocking, and we have in this country, at least at a leadership level, bipartisan support for something called the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. It's a very useful tool, but having political support is only a first step. It actually needs implementation, and we say that there are two places where the highest priorities are for the implementation. The first is educational facilities, and the second is, frankly, our publicly funded media. That seems to be the two areas where we have the biggest problem in Australia, and we need the political will not just to pass a motion, which has occurred in 3 state parliaments and federally as well, but to implement it with appropriate policies and follow-up.
Indeed.
That has not yet been done.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it with your help, David. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Chris.
David Adler there from the Australian Jewish Association.